Friday, December 28th, a few days before the new year.
One day before UFC, what, 234? 235? I forgot whatever it is
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna get into that, especially because our conversation got cut off last time by my fucked up MacBook. But that's okay. We're on a new computer now. I don't think we're gonna have any issues this time. So, what was on your mind today? How you feeling?
Excited.
You looked a little down when you came in, but you said otherwise. I believe you now. You just seem to be in a stoic mood.
Yeah, no, I'm just excited to be out of work for a couple of days. What about you?
I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm not a huge New Year's Eve guy, so I'm not really looking forward to that per se. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys and doing the whole gift exchange thing and talking nonsense. Maybe have a drink or two, but I don't like to drink, 15 drinks, go to one of those parties where you have to buy a ticket to it and, Uber 3 times, spend another 100 there. I don't really want to do anything like that. That's not my scene. So I'm more just looking forward to kicking off the new year and getting into January.
I will say though, if I were to go out on the town on New Year's Eve, buying a ticket though, like if you like are planning to go out and like drink, buying a ticket to someplace probably actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Because
worth it if you're a drinker.
yeah, because like they like overprice and water down like all of the drinks on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
So
see, I have no shame. I'm a lightweight. If I go out, if I have, 2 vodka sodas, a couple beers, I'm done. So,
oh yeah,
like,
it's
with those
easy,
unlimited drinking things where you pay some huge price up front, it's just a waste of money for me.
dude. So I mean, I guess like you said, it would really just depend on how much you're like going out to drink. Um,
I've never
but
been one of those guys where, you see someone grab a 12 pack and they're like, all right, what are you going to get to drink? And you're like, what are you talking about? I thought we were going to share that. They're like, nah, that's just for me.
dude,
It's like, what do you mean? You're drinking a 12 pack? I don't
dude,
get that.
I feel like
You have to drink 8 of them. I mean, if I drink 8 beers, I'm done for.
I feel like when I was like 19, like 20, I feel like I could easily like kill like at least 8 like Bud Lights or something, like Coors Light something. But now like, I can't even drink beer. It's funny.
Yeah, I remember we used to gauge, for 2, 3 of us, we need, 24, maybe a 30 pack. And now I go out and I just get a 6 pack and I chip away at it all week.
Yeah, it's like
Have a
okay.
Heineken occasionally.
It's funny. It's funny because everyone always says, yeah, most people like do a lot of like the heavy, like way too much drinking, all that shit before they're 21. And I used to think, that's bullshit. I feel like I'll drink like this, for a while. It's like, no, that's not true. I mean, you pretty much like once you are 21, everyone around you kind of just, I guess, depending on who you're hanging out with, kind of stops too.
It's the truth. And, another thing that isn't bullshit is that hangovers do get worse as you get older. You can't explain
100%.
it. Your body just gets more and more angry with you. Because if you have 3, 4 drinks when you're 19, pass out. If you have even a couple sips of water, you're gonna be fine.
Rejuvenated.
Yeah, but when you're 25, 30, 35, it just gets worse and worse. You have just 1 glass of wine. You wake up at 5 in the morning. You're like, why do I have a horrible headache? And you're like, oh, I had a glass of wine last night.
I feel like when I was like 19 years old, 20 drinking, I never really like drank water while I was drinking and somehow ended up relatively like fine after the end of the night, the next morning. But now I feel like if I don't have like eight glasses of water like in between each drink, I'll wake up the next day literally dead.
Oh yeah. Even if I try to stay hydrated, if I keep up with drinkers, people who are having Patron 1800, doing shots with the lemon after, and all that nonsense. If I'm doing that, I can keep up for probably 2 days. If I'm in like a vacation, stay over somewhere. But after that, I'm just death. For like 3, 4 days, I look like Ben Affleck after he got divorced when he's got all the 5 o'clock shadow and he's just
sitting there, just like
yeah, his head slung over on his balcony, just like miserable. That's how I feel after I drink heavy. That's why I stay away.
Well, speaking
I
of
like what I
mm,
like, you know.
speaking of New Year's, do you have any resolutions?
No, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I'm not a big believer in the New Year's resolutions because I've tried them in the past. And here's the thing, I've never actually stuck with anything unless it was a minor one. You know, if I had any major ones, like life changing, like something I knew I had to do anyways, I never stuck with it. Because if you're trying to put a start date on it, you're not really that committed. That's what I realized. You know, if you really want to do something, you got to just kind of hop on it mentally at that moment.
So,
I mean,
uh,
if you're already working on something, you can make a little resolution to keep going through it this next year. But if it's like, you know, you've been eating ice cream and cookies, and then on New Year's Eve night, you're still drinking, having a bunch of snacks, and you're like, tomorrow I'm going to hit the gym and really get after it. Like, you should have been getting after it the moment you realized you needed to hit the gym.
that's why you'll see so many people. The most obvious example is the gym. You'll see a huge influx of people right around, usually right after New Year's, because that's when people are like, New Year, new me, and you know, God bless them for trying to improve themselves, but those are the same people that will fall off because they, like you said, if you want something, you kind of just have to hop on it.
For me, the biggest problem is the start date because if it has a start date, there's an end date. But if you just do it and it kind of becomes part of your routine, you don't really think of it as, you know, I hopped on this, you know, resolution. Can I keep it? You know, I think it becomes more difficult if you think of it as like your New Year's goal you have to try to defeat. If you just kind of add it to your routine, work on it, adapt, you'll be better off. But I don't have a problem with resolutions. Maybe it works for some people.
Yeah, no, look, because
For me, it's just another day. It just keeps on ticking. You got to keep constantly looking at your flaws and trying to work on them.
there's always the people that it'll help. Because I forgot where I heard it. Even if someone, let's say they try to quit like smoking, and they say, okay, I'm going to stop smoking on this date, and they do, and they stop for a while, but then they go back to doing it, so they just like relapse on it, so they just start smoking again. And even though like they failed, I guess in a sense, that's not the worst thing in the world because as long as they like keep trying, eventually like they'll just be like, okay, like I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Like, you know, there's definitely people out there who have made a resolution to stop smoking, like you're saying, cigarettes.
mhm.
And then they smoke their last cigarette down to the filter right before midnight and said, I'm done. And then they've woke up the next morning with a horrible hangover and instantly failed and had a cigarette.
Oh yeah. I mean, look,
That's probably happened thousands of times.
if not millions. 'Cause, like, dude, I feel like that'll happen like a thousand times in just like your apartment complex. Like fuck,
1,000 times, all by 14 people.
dude. I wonder, like, I mean, I guess we could probably like easily look this up, but
We
I'm
could.
I'm I'm pretty sure
We have a whole computer and
isn't the
access to internet.
isn't the amount of just new smokers going down in the U.S. Not worldwide, because there's still like third world countries who like that's still huge just smoking over there, but in
Why
the
does it seem like other countries don't have a problem with it? Like they do, obviously.
lack of education.
No, but in terms of, I mean, maybe it's because we don't live there, obviously, but it seems like you don't see Chinese people getting cancer. I mean, the air sucks
No,
anyways.
no, dude. Like tons of people get fucked up by like smoking and
Really?
like air quality over there. Yeah,
I thought maybe they're immune. You see like 8-year-olds smoking cigarettes.
dude. You would think at this point, but no. I mean, it fucks up everybody.
That's fucked up. But yeah, the thing with the cigarettes or anything, you know, just do it gradually. You're better off doing that. You'll have a higher success rate if you just make a conscious effort, but you don't have to do it all in one day like that. Start cutting down cigarettes, wean off of them, or start making a few healthier choices in your diet. Don't go from like eating Doritos, Cheetos, and sliders on New Year's Eve, and then go immediately try to eat like kale and arugula all week. You're gonna lose your mind.
Your body's gonna just literally crave the unhealthy food, and
Yeah.
you'll just be putting an unnecessary like mental like torture on yourself. You're just doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I like to think of it like a checkpoint, like maybe a point to reflect, reevaluate your current goals, but you should always have them anyways. You should always be kind of working towards something, I think, like a resolution on yourself. So it is a good time to, maybe, like you're saying, throw a few salads in if you make bad eating choices throughout the year. Maybe have some veggies, some fruit, not ground up, just eat it. And then at the New Year's, maybe you'll have a little resolution to, put a number on something. Like I'm gonna have veggies 5 days a week. So you're already eating kind of healthy, but you use it like a time to set a little fun goal for yourself, like a checkpoint.
Just like I guess any other drug, like you get addicted to like certain types of foods. Like for example, like you mentioned, like Doritos and like chips and like Cheetos and shit like that. You could, in essence, really like be going through like withdrawals if like let's say you went from eating that every day to hey I'm just gonna just now replace that with salads. Like
Definitely because a lot of that food has sugar. You're gonna have sugar cravings,
yeah,
and then you might make the bad choice that I'm sure a lot of people fall into. They're I'll just grab a Coke, but they're trying to eat healthier choices, but they're drinking pop. That's not a good idea either. You gotta just cut out the sugar. But like you said before, it's easier to wean off of it.
when I was a kid, I used
Plus,
to love drinking just regular like pop, Coca Cola and
oh,
shit.
classic Coke
And
with a
then
bunch of ice.
when I would make Kool Aid, because that would be the only way that I would get like actual like water in me would be through fucking Kool Aid.
Dude, I think
I would
scientists need to take a closer look at Kool-Aid. That shit can absorb gallons or fucking pounds of sugar.
for
And you
every
just
for every like little package I would make, I would use like 1.5 cups of sugar. So
you need
like
like pour in the whole goddamn bag for those big family size mixes for the Kool-Aid, the ones that are like 64 cups. You need like an entire bag of sugar.
dude, I would love doing that. And then as I
I would love doing that.
as I
Just watching it mix.
as I got older, dude, it'd be fun. But
It actually was fun to pour all that sugar in.
as I got older, I would start to just put in less and less sugar and just more and more water. So it went from just like you can't even see through the glass thick of sugar to just being like
You turn that shit into like vitamin water light.
basically. So that's how it got easy for me to kind of stop drinking a lot of Kool-Aid. And then after that, it just went to like teas and shit. But I mean, obviously, I drink a little bit worse now, but I lost a lot of weight just by doing that. Um,
Yeah, I don't know why I thought I was healthier. I was pretty stupid in terms of nutrition and what's good
I
and
thought
bad
that
for
like
you.
brisk like iced tea was like just like I thought that was like better for you than like pop. And there's no, there's like just as much sugar in there.
Yeah,
But
Kevin and
yeah,
I are driving around with our friends, like doctors with the windows down, drinking our iced teas, thinking we're healthy, laughing
no,
at people drinking pop, when
no,
actually we're just as unhealthy.
no, it's just as bad. But
That's fine though.
yeah,
I mean, it's cool to have a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cake, a little bit of whatever, but just keep it in moderation.
that's so hard for like even me like. Sometimes when I get like let's say a pack of Oreos, like I could eat that whole fucking pack of Oreos
It
myself in like 2 days.
It's hard not to take down sleeve at a time, especially with those thin ones, because it's a mental thing. You're like, oh, they're
Oh,
not as bad for you.
they're
So
so
you eat like
small.
8 of them.
Yeah, you just keep eating them.
Yeah, 24 of them.
It's a
The
lot
pack
easier.
dwindles.
I find it easier for myself to not overeat with them if I don't take like the package with me to eat. Let's say I just grab a couple out of the package and then go sit down because
That's a great trick with
Yeah.
nuts, because I'm a squirrel dude. If I get almonds or peanuts or cashews, it's over. If I don't, distribute a set amount into a container and take it over to the couch, I'll sit there, especially when like reefer's involved or anything like that, drinking. I'll sit there and eat like 1,000 peanuts.
anything that's like small like that, like
Yeah.
peanuts, M&Ms, Skittles, shit like that,
Oh yeah.
dude. Trick,
Doritos.
eat them one at a fucking time. Like don't sit there and put like five in your
Handfuls,
hand and
yeah.
like, dude, because you get just as much fucking flavor if you eat fucking one of them. So you're just doing yourself a disservice. You could just prolong that.
I'm gonna disagree
Yeah.
with you there. I think you
Oh.
get way more flavor in your mouth at one time that isn't possible to reach with one single, unit of say honey roasted peanuts. Okay, if you take a whole handful, you get so much honey roasted in a blast. It's like a shotgun shell hitting you. But if you have one at a time, you're kind of micro dosing your honey nut, peanut intake. It's kind of like if you take a little bite of a candy bar versus if you just take a monster bite out of it. You get so much more flavor out of that big bite.
Okay, so I guess I can kind of agree with you there. But with me, I have no self control, so I wouldn't go for
Yeah, I'll
like
take out my whole kitchen.
I wouldn't go for like one like blast of peanuts and be like, okay, now I'll have like maybe one and then two. Like, no, I'll just keep hitting blasts of handfuls and I'll eat the whole fucking container in one night. It's scary.
One of the worst things for me is drinking and eating because I won't stop. It's worse than anything else actually. Like if we go out drinking, I can take down Five Guys, burger and fries, double cheeseburger. It goes away. After it's gone, I'm always thinking, where's the rest?
Dude, my
Like last
snacking
time we went downtown, I honestly wanted another one.
my snacking is out of control after like smoking. I can't I'll never be able to just stop that. It's so hard.
Smoking too, and late night. Anything, even if I'm not doing anything, if I'm up just at 11, mentally I'm like, I need to have like a peanut butter and jelly. I need to have
Peanut
some
butter, anything peanut butter related fucks me up.
an
Or peanut.
apple,
Dude, I had dude, last night
Nutella.
I had two what are those things called? Reese's peanut butter cups that I forgot in my coat pocket all day. So by the time I found them late last night, they were smushed. They were sad. Completely defeated. So when I went back home, I thought, what can I do with these things? So I took them out of the package and I got some pretzels and just scooped it up in the pretzels.
Oh
Dude,
my god.
I almost cried. Like that was so tasty because it was the perfect like sweet and salty type situation.
Don't you love when you make something yourself at home and it just takes you aback? You're just, wow, this is amazing. This is better than anything you can order at a restaurant. And it's just because you decided to combine three different things from your fridge or freezer.
See, but that's so dangerous because now all I want to do is just go over to Kroger's and then buy some either like Reese's peanut butter cups or some like chocolate or Nutella and just a shit ton of more
Oh.
pretzels and just because I would do it.
I had to stop buying ice cream. I got in some trouble before. I did what you recommended to me. I took some of these graham crackers and I toasted them in the toaster so they're hot. And I broke them into pieces on top of some birthday cake ice cream I had. And I put the Hershey's the syrup all over the top of it. And kind of made a little sundae inside the cup and ate all of it, dude. It was like half of those little cups, when there's like 4 servings in a quart.
Have you
Ate the whole thing.
Have you ever tried those? They come in a little red box, and they're called like a coffee. Sorry, like cake in a cup.
Yeah, like a coffee cupcake.
They come in like
You can buy pre-made ones.
there's a shit ton of flavors now. They've got like carrot cake, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry shortcake.
I made them
s'mores.
myself at home.
So
You just got to mix flour, chocolate, a few things, and put it in the microwave, dude, and cake comes out.
So
It's crazy.
if you're lazy like me and a lot of people, those things are fucking heaven and super dangerous because all you have to do is literally just put either water or milk. Obviously, you gotta use milk, and just put it in the fucking microwave for like 45 seconds, and voila, you have a perfectly cooked, hot, like tremendous tasting cake or brownie or whatever the fuck flavor you get.
I know you can use substitutes, but it's weird how I love milk in cooking and baking for the most part, but I hate drinking it. I think it's fucking disgusting.
Like drinking milk.
Yeah,
I when I was younger, I used to like it, but now, I mean, I
me
don't.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everyone drank it in those boxes and shit with the like the people they never find on the sides,
Yeah.
the lost and found people. Uh, but yeah, once I got older, and as soon as I discovered and it got popular, they started coming out with the coconut milk. You know, like I don't fuck with the soy milk, but I'd get down with almond milk and coconut milk. I'd rather have those any day of the week over the dairy.
I'm
Not for ice cream though. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's like the ice cream's okay, but it's too hard with the coconut milk. You let it thaw a lot, then it starts to get melty. It doesn't get that good texture. But I won't drink it. Ice cream though, and I like regular yogurt.
I'm super bad with finishing milk. I'll get like a stockpile of like milk containers in my fridge because I'll get like one of those like half gallons of milk and I'll use it for, the first couple of days and then I'll just stop and then I'll get afraid that it's like expired, so I'll get a new one and then the same thing will happen with that one and then so on and so on. So like I just need to either a just utilize more milk in my diet maybe, but I don't know, maybe dairy's not that good for me, who knows.
Just don't get it. Fuck it. Just get coconut milk. You can have it in there for 2 weeks. It says throw away after like 4 days after opening, but it never smells bad. It's not dairy, so I don't give a shit.
That because with like
I
obviously
haven't
like
got sick.
dairy based products, you well with actually a lot of things like meat, pretty much anything that can expire, the best way to be the judge of that is just by smelling it and looking at it. But
And
like
hearing it. Put
where
your ear up to it and listen to it.
we're pretty good judges like of what's good food and what's bad food. So at this point, like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't know,
that-
dude. I've had some Chinese food that tasted delicious that put me on my fucking ass. Just hanging onto the sides of the bathroom wall. Thinking, like, how did this happen?
Your
I had
baby
some
guts.
fucking General Tso's chicken that was tremendous, and next thing you know, you feel like your guts are literally coming out of you.
Baby guts. Baby guts. Dude, I swear like
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone
I got
who's-
weak guts, but I mean, everyone's gotten sick off some dirty Chinese takeout or some Indian buffet, maybe some bad pizza.
one thing I love saying like you go on like sites like Reddit and you'll see people talking about like Taco Bell and
Don't fucking expose me on here.
it seems it seems like
Don't tell them what sites I go on.
it seems like the only time because I like Taco Bell, and I've never gotten like sick from it, but it seems like every time I hear people talk about it, it's only I got sick from Taco Bell.
I'll stand up for Taco Bell here. They definitely have some like grade D horse monkey meat.
I don't think they can consider it meat.
No, it's not even so much like horse or monkey or lizard meat. It's more just filler and a bunch of weird soy shit, seasonings,
'Cause I'm pretty sure-
byproducts, fucking radioactive waste.
It's not even brown.
Oh.
Like they use brown food dye just to make it look like beef.
Excuse yourself.
Like it's okay. Yeah. Sorry guys. Yeah, I'm sitting here burping. But it's yeah. I remember seeing that somewhere. Like the meat that Taco Bell uses is actually like white,
I think it's like 60% meat, and the rest is all filler.
it's not brown. They literally like use like food coloring. It's crazy.
That's gross. Well, yeah, you gotta imagine they're probably adding a bunch of white tofu stuff, and it just takes away from the darkness of the meat.
And no one like because if
No one wants like
yeah.
albino taco meat inside their quesadilla.
it would taste the exact same, but people are weird. They wouldn't want to eat that.
You can taste the difference. All you have to do is just buy a pack of ground beef yourself, throw your own taco seasoning on, and make tacos. It
It's
just tastes
completely
so
different.
much heartier.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, that's why you can eat like 5 burritos over there, because it's like empty, lifeless, soy meat.
Yeah, whereas like you have like one hearty like huge burrito at home, like
Yeah,
oh fuck, that'll fill you up.
like make two big ass beef and cheese burritos. I'm ready to fucking go through the wall into my neighbor's apartment. You get so juiced up from all that ground beef. But you eat Taco Bell, you feel like shit.
I,
It's weird how that is. You can have the same meal you make at home and get a fast food version of it, and most of the time you're gonna feel like shit after the fast food one.
so
The
I
only exceptions are like an egg McMuffin. You're all right for breakfast. Maybe a grilled chicken sandwich from McDonald's, I guess, in a pinch. But anything you make like a fish sandwich or chicken strips, it's gonna be so much better at home or a burger.
I was gonna say
If you know what
depending
you're
on
doing.
what you get, yeah, like that's pretty much like it because
Yeah,
let's say
I'm
you
being too
go
generous. I
to
like to cook. There's probably some idiots out there. I've seen those Food Network shows when people try to crack the egg, and they're making an embarrassment out of themselves. They're smashing the egg. It's all over their hands. It's like the worst cooks in America. I can't watch those reality shows, but from the trailer, it basically looked like a bunch of people trying to compete to get some sort of professional food training, but they're attempt to make dishes and they can't even figure out how to do basic shit like turn on a mixer. I don't get it. It's like you survive regular life. How can you not know how to like make an egg? I don't know. That's crazy to me. If you don't even know how to put together basic ingredients, follow a recipe, like how could you not know how to make cookies?
you would probably be surprised by how much people would start like sucking at regular stuff when they know that they're being like challenged or like recorded. Like they'll get nervous. They'll start forgetting shit that they know how to do on a regular basis.
That's
I can
true.
kind of
But
see
these are
that.
people that like pre-recorded, like to get on, or like their family sent them in. Like they always cook stuff that's horrible.
Even then, because they probably know that this is being sent to like be a part
All
of
right, look into
something
it.
huge.
Look into
Yeah,
it, guys. That's all you
yeah,
say.
yeah. Look into it. Look
Yeah,
into
hey, who
it.
knows? I mean, I could see that. You're right. Maybe they want to get the 10,000 or whatever the fuck it is and get some professional food training. Some, what am I even saying? Professional chef training.
Professional food
What are
training.
words? It's been a long week. Yeah, I'm basically ready for 2019. This week is some relaxation days, some filler days, but overall, I've been in a pretty good mood. I like that song you played. It
Oh,
was Fire by Cobra Man.
I swear, Spotify does a pretty good job of recommending new music on the Discovery playlist. This is not an ad or anything for Spotify, but I swear they were
I
on
mean, hit
fucking
us
point
up,
this week.
though.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Hit us
cool.
up, though.
But yeah, no, it's been on point this week.
It's hit or miss. Made the mistake where you leave music playing and it goes into a shit, random shuffle they gave you, and then the next week your recommended songs are all things you've never listened to in your life. That's bad because then you have to wait till the whole next week. I kind of wish there was a retry button.
It's pretty disappointing. Yeah,
Like they
they
should
should have
give
a
you
hard
like.
limit. They should have a hard limit of like maybe like 1 to 3 being the most like times you could refresh it in 1 week.
I agree, and the thing is, it's using the data from your playtimes and how, what songs you skip at what point and all that stuff to aggregate it together. So I don't see why they wouldn't give you maybe like 5 questions at the end of the week. Like did you like last week? Do you like this week's new selections below more than last week? So it can even further fine tune your music experience.
I wonder
Because
like
like, what if they give you shit songs? You should be able to tell like their algorithm, their AI, basically that this is a bad choice, so it knows to grab from different genres and everything.
they pretty much have that with the like because well with the like button for sure, but they also have the like dislike button now, don't they? Where you can say I don't like this. So I guess like in a sense they kind of do have that, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I'm sure that could help but now that they're already doing a like and dislike, they probably find it's like it would probably disturb people too much and not help them as much as they would get out of it, if that makes sense.
It's funny. You're right. It would disturb most people, but it's just stats. It's just math.
People don't give a shit. It's like just
Yeah.
make my stuff better, but I'm not going to tell you how. It's like great, thank you for all the help.
I'm glad I know a little bit about that stuff. I mean, I'm no graduate student. I don't know shit about actually like writing, advanced AI stuff or the people actually developing it.
Hmm.
But they do have like simple toolkits that you can use that doesn't take a genius to figure out. You just follow a tutorial. You can make applications, that can, if you showed a picture of like a cat or a tree, it can tell you yes or no, that type of thing, like image recognition. That I had a project in school I did where I used one of those. So it was basically they used an existing algorithms for like match and sort and finding stuff to like match like what's the best choice out of this bucket. And it wasn't hard at all, and I got it working. What the fuck were we even talking about? How did we get into this?
Good question.
AI stuff.
Uh,
Oh, the Spotify.
Spotify.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so I was just saying it wasn't hard, but it's all math. I was just glad that I actually have an understanding of it because it doesn't spook me. Is what I was gonna get at. Like I feel like a lot of people look at all the Siri stuff and the Google Assistant and Google Assistant. What the fuck is wrong with me today? I feel like I'm speaking in like a French accent or something. But I feel like a lot of people look at that shit and they think it's like magic. But I know in the end there is nothing thinking. It's not sentient. If you really understand it, it's really advanced math. It's just a bunch of stuff like those machines where you drop it and it like bounces off the little barricades like the pachinko machine or whatever. It's kind of like that. It's just dropping and sorting based on all your previous decisions and everything and giving you a choice
See,
or a recommendation. Or,
that does scare a lot of people.
yeah.
You,
It's spooky, but it's not thinking like, what would Kevin like? It's just like a math problem.
it's almost inevitable though, because people like to shout and scream about privacy all day, every day. But honestly, at this point, you kind of have to imagine that we're going down a path where like privacy is pretty much just like gone.
I think privacy is going to be completely gone within 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to have the ability to read thoughts, but in terms of mobility privacy and internet privacy, identity, like going through airports and stuff, I think we're all going to have some sort of chip that's going to be mandated. I think that's where we're headed eventually. We're going to have to get some sort of like wrist implant, or it's going to be linked to our phone.
Did you hear that in I think it was I'm not gonna probably be too off, but in China recently, they're like some of their school systems are testing out and having a lot of success with these like chip implanted like school clothes to track whether your kids are going like or like going to school or skipping class and late X, Y, and Z.
I saw that's creepy as shit.
That's like prepping them for like 'cause to make it like a norm at like work. It's like, are you
Yeah.
showing up to work at time? Like, are you like staying late? Are you staying later than your coworkers?
What's creepy is bosses already do that with the security cameras and they check the badge times if people got badges on the door.
Yeah, it's honestly, I wonder how bad it was. Well, I guess look,
I've heard of cases where there's been bosses who watch people around the office, like on the security cameras, like at their desk to see if they're working.
well, I guess if you think about it, if you're like an hourly employee, like they already do that anyways in terms of seeing like when you show up to work and when you leave work. But I guess it takes it to another. But look, at the end of the day, someone could like always like clock in, leave, and then like just show back up to work, whatever. But it's weird if someone like just had like either a chip implanted in them or somewhere on their clothing to where if they leave, like someone gets like an alarm, like a ding goes off, it's like Mike has left his desk. It's like
That
that's
sounds like a dystopian hell. Like I try to step out back for some air, and it sets off an alarm that I left the building. Red
like
lights are going off, and a bunch of guys in white suits come out and pull me back inside. They're like, "It's not your mandated break yet."
you look at your like watch and it says you have two available like it's like stand up sessions left. It's like what the fuck is this? Like I got to keep sitting down like that. One day that could be some sort of like realistic future for someone out there.
Assuming I live long enough, I feel like I'll reach a point where I know almost the least about software and computers and everything. Just because everything will get more and more and more advanced, and I'll be the old guy.
Dude, it must be really scary for some people in like the older generations especially who really didn't grow up with anything like or could even fathom much that we have now, and then even looking at what the future is to come. Like let's say it's someone who's like I don't know in their like 50s, they've never they've like lived in like a rural area, really didn't have to really use much technology in terms of like online shopping or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I guess that will be the most rare people, is what you're describing. The people who are in the farms that don't really use computers and stuff when they're really old, like the currently younger farmers and people who don't really use anything like that. Those are going to be really rare in the future because all these other kids are growing up with iPads, technology, Twitter, coding, instant messaging,
Dude, because
whatever the fuck, writing on each other's walls.
I mean, I see it all the time at work. I mean, like the older generation just has a harder time, grasping new technologies and processes like that.
Yeah, that's why I
So
kind of wonder how we're gonna evolve because we did grow up with it, sort of. Not
we've
to
got a
an adva-
baseline.
Yeah, it was more basic. It didn't really get that advanced till we were basically already, what, teenagers?
You know,
Yeah, because I mean they didn't have advanced cell phones when we were 7, 8, 9. They had like brick phones.
Nokia.
Yeah, they had the first couple like the walkie-talkie phones, all that stuff. But there was no mobile internet. The iPhone wasn't out for a while.
No, that came out in what, like 2006 or seven, something like that.
Yeah. Should we talk about the UFC since it got cut off last time?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
What?
yeah, and the John Jones news. That happened after the last time we talked about it. Anyways.
Oh yeah, he popped again, but somehow they're still having the fight go on. Okay, but
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna talk back and forth. Who knows who's lying? Because this Nowitzki guy is in with Dana White, and they're probably buying each other yachts and shit, and
right,
eating like shrimp off each other's chests, and
laughing
whatever else
about.
they're doing.
I feel like
Laughing at poor
yeah,
people.
I could see that, but
But yeah, I don't get how you could have a substance out of your body completely, and then it just shows up later.
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, even if the techniques get better, if there was a complete zero reading and then it comes back, because if it was that low before it was barely readable, and he hasn't had it still in all those months of showering, sweating,
It doesn't just
drinking
get
water.
stronger.
Yeah, I don't get it. Especially because he's training. So if you're sweating that much and running and all that and drinking gallons of water, there's no way that little bit was still in there for a year and a half. I just don't believe it.
No, me neither.
Maybe a tainted supplement, but I just can't believe that it's just something that didn't show up on the past, because they do them all the time, right?
Do what?
The tests.
Oh well, I mean, I guess it depends on each fighter because I mean it's like USADA's discretion on who they want to test more. But
I'm saying, like, look at his last 6. Like, I mean, he popped on the one that he actually originally got, the one he got originally punished for, which is fair. He said it was a tainted supplement, whatever. Even if it was or wasn't, say it's in his system regardless. if it was going down and down and down, and then it's nothing and nothing and nothing, and then a year later this shows up again. That doesn't make sense to me.
Did you see? So it was in the span of August and September. I believe that it was the 2 months. He failed actually two tests. So for one test, he had and I'm not sure about the sizes of these. It doesn't matter. These are like super strong substances. You can have a tiny amount and it'll still do a lot for you. That's what microdosing is for. So
It's not crazy to think he was like kind of walking on a ledge a bit. He was maybe microdosing, hoping you would get out of his system before they tested him every time.
That's what like people are saying, because that's like a common thing with like trying to cheat the system. But what happened was, on the first test that he failed, it was like 9 pictograms or whatever the fuck that is.
Picogram.
And then
a pictogram. It's like a goddamn movie.
And then a month later, he failed again for 18, so double that amount. So like,
weird.
How the fuck do you like fail 2 tests and then the second one get even worse, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm sure this is fine. Like,
it makes me think of like the meme with the like leaning in, like how suspicious.
Yeah, like it doesn't fucking make sense. And then after this fight, when Jones pops again, everyone's face is going to be like, what? Like, I can't believe that this happened. It's like, he already failed. Like,
watch you like pop for like a dick pill after the fight. Even the post-fight drug testing, you'll be like, oh my God, it's another tainted supplement.
Even when he passes the tests and gets to actually fight, he still fails tests. I don't understand that. Like,
I don't get, I mean, what's the details on the fight being moved? Does he get tested again? Does he fight if he's not clear the next time?
So the fight was originally in Nevada, and while they didn't say that he was banned from like competing there, they just wouldn't grant him a license because of all the
nonsense.
Fuckery and nonsense, surrounding it. So that left the UFC like scrambling. But over in California, they tested him.
Over in California, they like money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they went over there. He got licensed to fight, everything, etc. And they were just like, you know what? We're just moving everything over there. So while that fucked with probably a ton of people who like had plans and shit to fly out to Las Vegas and get set up there.
The fight's tomorrow, by the way. The 29th of December at 10 p.m. at the Forum, Los Angeles. And it'll be available on your local Reddit, a subreddit, and pay-per-view if you want to buy it.
Yep.
It's up to you, though. I don't make those type of decisions for you.
I
myself might have to acquire it,
Yeah, no.
Nobody knows nothing.
Well, I'll definitely be watching it. I mean, the whole card's good.
Yeah, maybe we'll check it out at a bar. Even depends what we're doing.
Yeah, it'll be a must watch for sure. But I'm really hoping that just because of all this nonsense that Gustafsson wins. But Gustafsson, he's one of those guys where his highlights in his career are his losses, like his loss to Daniel Cormier and his loss to John Jones. Those are his 2 best performances, and they were both losses. So like he's got some good wins under his belt, like Teixeira, Shogun, but
Gustafsson had that killer look in his eye in the interview with Helwani.
Oh yeah, no, not saying that like he doesn't have like the heart for it or anything. It's just like the upper echelon, Jones, DC, and Anthony Rumble Johnson, all guys that he's lost to, just the 3 best, but he's beat everyone else. It's like he just can't crack that top spot.
He's going to kick his head off, then go grab one of those IKEA hot dogs on the sideline.
Honestly, that would probably be the best thing that could happen for the UFC realm.
And
ever.
A cinnamon roll with ice cream.
Could you imagine if this fight happens and Jones pops again after the fight? Like, that's going to make everyone look really stupid.
I'll lose my mind.
Yeah.
I'll know I'm completely done with him. I basically already have gave up at this point in support for him. Because I just can't believe him. It's like it's like that one friend who just keeps lying and lying, and eventually you're just like, all right, man.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get through our predictions here because I got cut off last time. I don't even know what we got through, so I'm just gonna go again. Gustafson, and then I'm just gonna go through Gustafson, and I thought I said Gustafson. It's Gus though.
Gustafson, yeah.
Yeah.
Gus.
Yeah, so I got Gus, and then Cyborg versus Nunez. I got Cyborg. Condit versus Chiesa. I think Chiesa's gonna win. Unfortunately, I'm a big Condit guy. I just think he's a awesome fighter. But he's just.
The game's
I think his
past him.
style.
Yeah.
His style is outdated. I don't know if they got cut off in our last chat, but he used to be one of the original exciting fighters to watch. But these new guys came in, and they're all doing these crazy, heel hooks and flying.
They can grapple a lot
Knee
better,
bars and who knows
specifically
what.
wrestle better than Condit, and that's his downfall.
You're gonna see it in the way his stance and everything. He's very old school. He looks like a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
N-
So I
not,
like
not saying
Condit.
he can't win.
Yeah, but I have Chiesa in that one. And then Latifi versus Corey Anderson. I'm gonna go with Latifi. And then Mendez versus Volkanovski. I got Mendez because I'm just a big fan of his. I don't care though if there's any sort of advantage or disadvantage there.
Let's see. Well,
And I got Bruce Buffer for the announcer because Wikipedia listed it there.
look, I want Gus to win, but I still it's hard to bet against John Jones, so I guess I have to pick him.
Yeah, he is a showstopper.
Yeah,
He's kind of a
he's that
Conor
good.
McGregor type of guy.
Honestly, he's
Probably better.
way better in my opinion. Way more
In
dominant.
terms of overall wrestling skills.
he hasn't lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
that
Khabib
says
fucked
a
up
lot.
Connor's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, that says a lot. I mean, he just hasn't lost.
Yeah.
The one loss on his record is a DQ that he was just completely killing Matt Hamill. It was scary.
And a hit and run and cocaine
Yup.
and
He's
everything else.
That one loss pretty much defines his entire life. It's like the only time that he loses is because it's his own fault.
Oh yeah.
Because just like he got disqualified in the one loss, he keeps taking fucking steroids and doing coke and hitting people in cars and shit. But I think that he's going to win this fight.
It always seems though this phenom stars always tend to get caught up in a lot of that stuff.
So I've got Jones between Cyborg and Nunes. I gotta go with Cyborg. But
I think Nunez will give her a run though for her money.
she's definitely the most talented fighter that Cyborg's ever fought. Like Nunes is her biggest challenge by far.
Maybe she lights her up with some body kicks.
I guess that
Gets inside.
people like say that Cyborg, if you like actually get at her, she's actually kind of easy to hit, and
She's just intimidating.
and Nunes hits like a Mack truck, so
Yeah.
she could in theory probably put her down.
Her legs are so thick. I feel like if she kicked me, she'd break me in half.
Oh, both of those women would fuck me up.
Oh, totally.
Not even a question. Not even a question.
Like if Cyborg was an assassin and came in my apartment to take me out, I'd have no chance. She'd like slam me into the wall, throw a body kick, take me down.
Yeah,
I would have no chance. Like one of those Jason Bourne situations, like a fight to the death. She would kick my ass.
it wouldn't even be close.
No, she'd get me in like a headlock and she would just choke me out.
With Condit and Chiesa, Condit's still no joke, but I think that Chiesa he not only wants it more. Greg Jackson's the camp that both Condit and surprisingly Jones fight at. Has not been looking good as of late. Like a lot of their fighters have been losing.
Doing coke,
Like it hasn't been a good look.
hookers,
What is it? And then
Suge Knight's involved.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. But Latifi and Corey Anderson, I think that Latifi is gonna knock him out. He's very, very skilled. He's pretty good. He moves very well, but his chin, it doesn't seem like can take a huge shot. And Latifi can bring it.
I
But
feel like Latifi's got those big like gorilla hands.
he's
Like
huge.
his fist like the size of my head.
He's huge. He's like thick and stocky. He's one of those dudes. And
Yeah.
Corey's more like the lankier volume fighter. Look, but I've seen people with pillow fists knock out strong chin men. So
I get anxiety when people have pillow fists. Like when you watch them throw like five little soft punches in a row. I don't know why. Because then I feel like when they're throwing punches, they're just gonna get popped by one hard one.
dude,
And it's like you have your chances right there. You're just hitting so soft.
it scares me when I see people like taunt in a fight.
Yeah,
That's something that always gets me because I'm like, whenever I see someone taunt, it's like, wow, like
forever in
you're
my
gonna
head.
lose.
Anderson
Yeah,
Silva.
that was the one of the biggest heartbreaks I've ever had watching this sport. That killed me.
Yeah, just the lean and the stupid shake and the show off when he just gets clipped.
I guess like I in the back of my mind I knew that eventually like Silva was gonna lose, but like I was
It's just like
so
anything.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 'cause, like at the time he was just beating everybody.
If you
Um,
do anything daring, it's just a matter of time.
look, it was probably good that just like any sports fan, they need to get a peg taken down every once in a while. What is that saying? They taking down a peg, because you think, oh yeah, like my team's never gonna lose. My team's awesome. It's like like I never have to worry when my team's playing. It's like they lose. It's like, oh fuck. There are other people who are better. Okay, fine.
My team. A lot of people get caught up in that shit.
People do, yeah, because I mean it's human nature. People like to be on like sides in wars. Like I'm
Oh
on
yeah.
team United States, team Thailand, so on.
Team Earth.
That's what it really should be.
Team Yarth.
Team Yarth.
Who do you got in the featherweight?
Mendez and Volkanovski. Look, I mean to be honest, I've never seen Volkanovski fight. I
Well, we
obviously
can guess he's a Russian. That gives him like a 20% advantage.
it really does. The Russians fuck everyone up.
Yeah.
But look, I saw with Chad Mendes, he won his last fight against Miles Jury pretty convincingly. So I mean, he doesn't seem to be hasn't lost too much of a step or anything. So just based on having seen Chad fight and not Volkanovski, I'm gonna go with Chad.
Okay. Pretty similar predictions. We'll have to see how it plays out.
I forgot. Can you see? Just click on the Wikipedia page for this card and see what the rest of the card is like. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think that BJ Penn is either fighting on this card and on the undercard or
Come
the
on,
next
we don't
card.
want to embarrass him like that, dude. I was trying to just cut off the fights. Oh shit! I thought it was a ghost. It's Kiki.
Because do you know
Opening
who
doors.
Ryan Hall is?
No.
He's an Ultimate Fighter winner. Hasn't fought in like 2 years, but that's who BJ Penn is fighting. He's a very like grappling heavy fight. So I mean, people are like, oh, I don't want what's his face, BJ Penn to get knocked out again, and this dude won't be the dude to do it.
Okay.
Andrei Arlovsky,
I think
Volkan
BJ
Harris.
Penn needs to retire.
He should have retired like 5 years ago. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, Arlovsky's fighting Walt Harris, Kat Zingano, Megan Anderson.
That should be a good fight.
Yeah.
Excited for
I
that.
hope Kat wins.
See, I'm it's a toss up because I like both. Oh, actually, shit, he is fighting BJ Penn versus Ryan Hall.
Oh yeah. 8 p.m. Eastern in the prelims. Don't miss it. He's gonna get knocked out.
So, hey, look, honestly, I feel like if BJ Penn,
Someone's getting knocked out.
not necessarily because Ryan Hall is not the person that'll knock you out like at all. Like that's just not his thing.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. What is he? Said he's a wrestler.
He's like a BJJ player,
Oh, okay, okay.
kind of like Damian Maya.
So it's BJJ versus a BJ.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of B's, a lot of J's.
Okay, sounds funky.
I guess there's a video from like years ago on YouTube of like Ryan Hall like stopping some like bully or some like dude on the street with like actual jujitsu, and it went like viral at the time.
Really?
But
When he choked someone out.
Yeah. I forgot what the exact circumstances were, but I guess it was pretty popular at one point. I don't remember it.
Huh. I'd probably watch it. Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking. I probably did, and just obviously didn't know who that was.
Well, yep. So make sure to check that out. That'll be tonight when this is posted. Any closing thoughts? Close out the year.
Look, it's been a long year, but honestly, mostly only good things have happened, and I'm hoping for that in 2019 as well too. I'm gonna do my best to just force that to happen. So
We're going into 2019 with a bang.
yeah,
You have to go in with high velocity because I think the year has a flow to it. It seems like certain parts of the year slow down, so you got to start out fast. It's like the school semester. Like if you start out bad at the beginning, you start with a C. It's a lot harder later in the year to crawl back up to that A. It's kind of impossible, actually.
you got to put in double the amount of work.
Right, just to get the B minus. But if you kind of go into the year just trying your best, maybe you'll fizzle out a little bit partway through the year, reevaluate. But I think it's the best time of year to really get shit in gear.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in 2019, and hope anyone listening to this as well too just has nothing but success.
Yes, anyone out there, all you guys take care of yourselves. Don't do anything stupid on New Year's. I'm going to
Please
keep it
don't.
low key. If you do go out, take an Uber. No drunk driving. It's stupid.
Very.
Same with the edibles.
No edibles, yeah.
And smoking. You can get a DUI for all that. So
Be careful.
just be careful out there. And we'll be back next week around the 4th or the 5th. Take care.
Peace, guys.
Happy New Year.
I'm gonna burn to the ground with the liquor.